with your song request and with your phone calls. Ravens back in practice today. Yesterday, no Lamar, no Roquan, no Marlon, no Woozier. I mean, it's just this never-ending list of injuries and all key contributors to the equation. Kyle Hamilton was back somewhat limited. What does that mean?
I saw him in the drills, DB drill doing backpedaling and stuff. He looked good there, The only thing scares me, Bob, about guys that have pulls like that, playing on a wet, slippery field is not the best thing for a guy, with a groin issue.
Yeah, it looks beautiful outside now on Thursday, but expected to rain starting, Saturday night.
Yep.
Yeah, hopefully Maryland, Nebraska can get unscathed with the weather down at College Park. All right, let's go to the phones. Go get Joe in Woodbury. Joe, thanks for holding. What's happening?
I knew you would get me. I'm walking down the street, 3800 block of Park Heights. I'm on my walk. But anyway, and when I was walking down one street, I said, shut up, birds, because if they call me now, they're going to say it's my smoke alarms. So it's like 100 birds chirping out. But anyway, hey, man, I got to put all this on the coach, man. Think about this. I've never heard your DC needing a mentor to come in back-to-back years. Who does that? John Harbaugh. Another thing, John Harbaugh, he is supposed to be the tip of the spear. He's supposed to be the head of the team. But he has brought in a person who was not equipped, knowledgeable, and everything, and promoted this guy to a position. Everyone can't lead. And another thing, I think about how the linebackers was playing when he was the linebackers coach. Because, of course, when Donald was here, I don't know if Orr was the head linebacker coach. Y'all can verify that or not. But when Donald left, he took everyone. So even the special teams start sucking after he left. So you got the head coach supposed to be special team guru. He promotes a guy that's not able to do what the job requires. You have to bring in a mentor back-to-back years. That responsibility is the fault of the head coach. So if anybody should fall on the spear, it should be him. If anything, Orr should be demoted, not fired, because he was put in a position that he wasn't experienced enough to do. Can anybody see that but me? But in other words, they're not going to get this back together this year. And the roster. Think about this roster, how flawed it is. Now, me and Bruce Cunningham, when we went over the construction of that 2000s defense, I think they had 5 draft picks, and the other 6 guys they brought in. DeCosta hasn't done nothing like that since his first pick of Hollywood Brown. When he did that, I knew he didn't know what he was doing.
Roquan.
No. He brought him in, but look how many years after that. What I'm saying is he's been trying to construct a team. I know that. But we've been hurting on the offensive line and defensive line so long, it's pathetic. And that's all I'm going to say, y'all, because I'm out here walking. I'm getting tired talking to y'all.
Yeah, man. Be careful out there. Get that work in, Joe. All right, real quick, with Zach Orr 2023, when Mike McDonald was the DC. Chuck Smith was outside linebackers coach. Zach Orr was inside linebackers coach. With Roquan, first-team All-Pro, and Patrick Queen, who played himself into a big – so that wasn't exactly a weakness of the team. But going back to when he got the job, the concern you had and everybody else did, he's never called plays before.
Right.
I mean, he's been a coach, so he played the game. He certainly understands how to play defense, but he had never called and devised game plans.
My big thing, Bob, and I've said it for 2 years now, is you're all in to win the Super Bowl. The last 2 years, you're Super Bowl or bust. And you bring in a guy that's never called plays before on defense. It just made no sense to me. Where's the experience? I mean, you want to go, Monken had coached in the pros. He was coordinator for Tampa and Cleveland, so he'd been there before. But you bring in a guy that you don't know what you're going to get.
Hey, and Denard Wilson and Anthony Weaver, they were also coordinators too when they were on the staff in 23, and now Well, Weaver's probably in trouble in Miami, and Denard's in Tennessee, and that coach Callahan's probably going to be the first one to get fired. Yeah,
yeah. So I mean, that's the biggest thing. I mean, I remember talking about the week of the Kansas City game. How's he going to match up with Andy Reid? You know, I mean, I was never crazy about that. I never liked that hire. I mean, I don't know how they let Harbs pull that one off. You know, I mean, and that's Eric and Bisciotti. How, you know, because you would think, hey, man, you can't bring in a rookie.
Nolan, we have time for another call. He says yes, and we go to Ted and Dundalk. Ted, thanks for holding. What's up?
Hey, guys, just got a couple of things I wanted to go through, including an interesting trade that I think would be good for the team. But first off, just about the offensive line, you know, we've talked about this year in and year out. They've consistently been able to run the ball, even though they've had below average guard play over the last couple of years. I'm looking at the PFF grades of Voorhees and Falele, and it looks like Falele is a much better player than Voorhees. They have a similar run blocking grade. Falele is a little bit better, but pass blocking, he's almost double on what Voorhees can do. So I don't know whose brilliant idea it was to rely on a 7th-round pick coming off a torn ACL to start at left guard when you already have a bottom-tier right guard and your offense is built on the foundation of running the football. I don't know if that's Harbaugh. I don't know if that's DeCosta. It just seems mind-blowing to me, and now we're seeing the effects of it today. And then my trade idea, what do you guys think about trading Derrick Henry for Mike McDonald straight up? Thanks.
For who?
Mike McDonald. Oh. Hey, thanks for the call. I'm guessing Seattle would decline that trade because I mean Seattle's pretty good at the run stuff themselves. But Child said he thinks Lele's been better than Voorhees, but that's like, I mean, come on. You want peas or lima beans with your dinner tonight?
Yeah, both have struggled. They both. Voorhees will struggle. Falele really doesn't struggle with power, you know. And I've always said, you put a big slobber knocker over Falele and he'll be fine. You put a quick athletic guy in, and he's going to have problems. And with the stunts and twists, Falele has problems with that because it's speed and quickness. Now with Voorhees, he definitely struggles with power. He gets driven back a lot, you know, and he's a better athlete than Falele. Hey, if they put in Bullock at either spot, I'd be happy. You know, let's just try.
It's Vinny and Haynie, 1057 The Fed. We'll come back, talk to Nolan, get your phone calls. You want to join us for news from the Nash, you're more than welcome to do so at 410-583-1057. Count the late week money, I hope, and talk about the many sports subjects of this Total Request Thursday. Mike Bordick, talk baseball playoffs and Orioles managerial search with him, and arbitration figures. What do you do with Ryan Mountcastle? According to MLB trade rumors, he's looking to get $1 million raise. You paying that thing?
Touchdowns at the bank.